In the last episode, I revealed the new plans of sailing south, which means passing the Bay of Biscay. Now I was up to some work and preparations before leaving again, and I found a good place here in France to do that. I have this project that has been sort of going on for 2 years. I think it's 2 years ago I bought my second water tank because the water tank that's from the manufacturer in this type of boat is 110 liters, and I wanted more water and I wanted a shower on the boat. And I started the project, so the shower is now sort of installed. It works, but it needs some additional things. And the water tank, it's always a lot of work to install those things that's gonna go like underneath the floor or inside a wall or something. But I think it's really time to finish it up now. So I'm gonna show you what I've done so far, so you are on to this. So let's get outside, because in this type of boat it's not very suitable to have an indoor shower because it's lots of woods in the toilet and there is no real breeze from it. The toilet flooded once, so I can realize it comes down there, but that wouldn't be a good solution anyway. So it's going to be an outdoor shower, or it is an outdoor shower. So let's have a look at it. It's a bit windy. It's a little bit of finish left to do around. So it also needs some kind of thread or something, so it's easier to pull out, but it's working. Although this handle is apparently not the best handle, because it's both a little bit difficult to actually, like, as you saw, grip it and get it out, and also it's leaking a little bit, so it gets a little bit of water in here. And the main problem with that is not like a few drops of water, but it takes the pressure off from the water in the kitchen, so the pump is running more frequently, so it has to be fixed. But at least there is a shower by now. And of course that is not as easy to just put a shower there, because I wanted to run it on the same pump as in the kitchen, since it's very expensive to buy a new one and it's also taking a lot of place, and then you have to decide where to get the water from. I'm going to show you a little bit of the installation so you can understand a little bit of why it's taking a lot of time to do things. This is my fresh water pump that goes up to a little pressure holder. So what I've done is a couple of things. This is the water hose that's coming from the shower. So that is connected with a splitter. So I splitted this hose and put it on here, so the water could still go up to the pressure holder in the kitchen, but the pump can also run water through here to the shower. And then also I wanted this solution to be able to take water from both the water tanks. So then this one, what it's doing is that it decides where to get the water from. So this means it is actually now taking water from the new water tank, and if I put it like this, it can take water from anywhere, or if I do it this, I could close off this tank. And the reason I want to have this is that probably because this tank is in the bow, having a lot of extra weight in the bow could sometimes be less beneficial. So I probably would always want to empty that tank first. And also that's a plastic tank, and sometimes plastic can make water taste a little bit different. So sometimes it might be that you want to use that water, for example, for showering, or then if you want drinking water, you can use the other tank. But there is also one thing left to do here. Since it's dripping a little from the shower, I also want to put in a switch on this hose, because it's not that you're going to use the shower equally much as you use the kitchen crane. So pulling a switch once you want to use the shower would be a good solution to also not have a leak anywhere in the boat. But that means I have to cut this hose, and then of course it's gonna drip a lot of water again. And if you've never done that before, first time I got a problem with the pump, I kind of sort of just took the hose off. You have to like release the pressure first, otherwise it comes a lot of water. But it's still gonna come water out because all the water that's higher up in the crane is still gonna pour out here. So that's left to do, and then there is a little bit of connection left to do with the other water tanks, so let's get started with that. Now I know why I waited so long to do this, because it's never quite easy. So I'm having a hard time getting the hose through the hole, because of course I drilled the hole as exact as possible, and just putting it for one hole is okay, but then it's also going down to the hole to the water tank underneath the bed, and putting it from both holes is really not easy. It goes like a centimeter at a time, but it's a 2-meter hose, so it's gonna take its time. It seems though the more I pull through, the easier it gets, but voila, we got a hole, and it's gonna fit perfectly. Just gonna polish this one because it's an old one, but they're gonna reuse. I'm also gonna put a little bit of epoxy around the edges. Hey, finally after 2 years, I'm just gonna let the Sikaflex dry, and then I'm gonna paint gray on the line here. So I just even it out as much as possible. So it doesn't look that good now, but it's gonna be perfect then. Yeah, so happy to finally have it done. There is one tiny detail left. No, it's a couple of details left actually. So the hose is not yet connected to this one, and not either to the tank. And then the air ventilation needs to be done a bit differently when I put the filling here. But I think I'm gonna do that tomorrow, because now it's like Saturday night and I should be doing something more fun. And with good friends there is always something fun to do in this town. Then it was only the details left. Gonna open down to the water tank underneath the wee berth, but it's a bit tricky because there's still a lot of stuff above it also. Get the tools. This is probably one of the most underestimated tools there is. I don't know how I could make it so long without one, because when you're gonna screw those you always like lose the grip if you use an ordinary screwdriver. So this was my Valentine's present, and I love when you get useful presents, so perfect to give a girl a tool. Okay, but let's go. It's gonna be dark inside here. I think you can see the hose is coming down there. I think it's gonna go fairly easy. By fairly easy, I don't mean smooth, but this is gonna be a turbo video. But now you know how it is, fixing things in a boat. I think you have no use to see more of this. Last little part remaining. The hose is also gonna fit inside here to the water filling, and it's very stiff, so it's not really easy to get it on. I started to put it on without the clamp on. So the little progress I made, I have to remake. Put one of those on. off again. Let's make it a try. Like you don't have any space, and then you have to quite some strange angles, and then it's sort of slowly getting on, but no fast progress. It's always easier if you turn it a little bit, but then if you turn it too much, then you also have to turn it the other way. It's just a perfect tool again. Leftovers. Then it's just actually one more tiny little thing. There is also a little hose coming out here. That is the air ventilation of the tank. Well, I haven't decided yet what to do with it. The easiest way, in one way, is to put it out through the hole and just put the ventilator there. And the other option is that I could put it into the anchor box, and then I don't really need a ventilator, just a net to keep like bugs and insects from getting into it. But I also got this power connector here, and I really would like to move it because it's not an optimal solution to have it in the anchor box. And if I remove it, then I also have the holes to put this one out there, except that it's 10 centimeters too short because the holes that I really wanted to have here could not fit into the wall. So it never goes quite as planned. And the main problem is that this is 16 millimeters and I don't have a drill that's 16 millimeters. But at the moment, I just have to be careful filling the water. But now it works! Yay! Okay, now let's start putting some things back to order. So this is a huge storage area, so that's why everything is all over the place. So yeah, looking really forward to it. Okay, already better. I think I can say mission is finally successfully done. 2 years, I want to deeply thank my Patreons for supporting the making of these episodes, and if you want to contribute, you can also become a Patreon or buy me a coffee at the links below. If you haven't already, subscribe so you don't miss out. And if you appreciated this episode, please give it a big thumbs up.